Today, we're diving into a really fascinating idea, a way to cut through all the noise of daily life and find some real inner peace.
You know that feeling, right? Where you're just stuck between, well, total boredom and absolute chaos. One minute, it's the same old routine. The next, it's just a whirlwind of stress. It feels like you're constantly bouncing back and forth, just trying to find some middle ground.
But what if there's another way? A path you can actually choose to walk, one that leads to this peaceful center, this quiet place inside you no matter what's going on in the world around you.
All right, so let's get into it. This is our quest for calm. We're going to look at a pretty unique path that our source material lays out for us.
And here's the thing that's really interesting. This path, it isn't about religion or some kind of spiritual system. Nope. The idea here is that the answer, the key to that tranquility, is found in the pursuit of art.
So what does that even mean in practice? Well, let's dive into this core idea, something called art life.
Okay, so art life, or yushu xinghua, is basically the practice of finding peace by bringing art into your daily life. We're talking music, painting, sculpture, you name it. It's about consciously appreciating these things to find that quiet center.
And this is a really important point. This is not about having to become some great artist. I mean, that takes a lifetime of dedication, right? No, art life is all about appreciating art, and that's a path that's open to literally everyone. The whole point isn't to be a master. It's just about the journey, the experience itself.
So how does this actually work? Just think about it for a second. That feeling when you hear a piece of music that just hits you right in the soul, or a play that's so powerful it moves you to tears, or a painting you just can't stop looking at. Well, those moments, our source says those experiences are like a deep clean for your soul. They can bring you this profound sense of calm.
Okay, so let's see what this looks like in the real world. We're going to explore some incredible traditions where art is life, lived by absolute masters of their craft.
Specifically, we're diving into two legendary Chinese traditions, the organic, flowing art of root carving and the expressive historical craft of Shiwan Pottery. First up, we're heading to Shengzhou. This place is so famous for this art form, it was officially named the hometown of Chinese root carving. We're talking about art that just feels otherworldly, like it's half made by human hands and half grown by nature. And get this is not some dusty, forgotten art form. Nope. There are over 3,000 artisans in Shengzhou right now keeping this incredible tradition alive and kicking. That's a huge, thriving community. And within that community, you've got these living legends. We're talking about pioneers like Zheng Zhenfu, the first president of their Art Research Institute, and then you have his direct disciples like Yu Saiwei, who are carrying that torch. Plus, there are rising stars like Zhou Yang, making sure this art form doesn't just survive, but evolves.
All right, now let's switch gears and travel to Shiwan. This place has a serious reputation. They call it the southern capital of ceramics and even a pearl of oriental art. So you know we're talking about something special.
And in Shihuan, you see this amazing story of legacy. It all kind of revolves around this one grand master, Lu Chuan. He was the one who really carried the tradition forward. And look at this. He trained a whole generation of disciples who then became masters themselves. We're talking Zhang Zhouwan, Liao Hongbiao, Pan Bailin, all of them learned from him.
And the list just keeps going. The talent in Shiwan is just staggering. You've got artists with these amazing titles like Lu Zemian, who was called a child prodigy when he was just 14, or Zheng Liang, known as the Shiwan Eagle King. How cool was that? And Huang Songzhen, a famous innovator. These aren't just nicknames, right? They tell you everything about their unique style and mastery.
So, when you hear about all these legends and ancient traditions, it's easy to think, okay, that's great, but is that kind of profound connection with art just a thing of the past?
Absolutely not. And that's exactly what we're talking about next. The spirit of art life is alive and kicking, being carried on by a whole new generation of artists right now. Just take a look at this new wave of artists coming out of Taiwan. You've got oil painters like Wu Jiaxuan and Lin Tingan who are getting selected for major international shows like the French Spring Salon. And then there's woodcarver Wu Weiwen, who's known for this totally new visual impression. I mean, the tradition isn't just surviving, it's thriving.
So you see this beautiful unbroken line, right? It stretches all the way from those ancient root carvers, right up to the artists in modern galleries today. It's all part of the same thing, this timeless human quest for a beautiful life.
Okay, and this brings us to what I think is the most important part of all this. Because, it's not just about famous masters. This is actually an invitation for you.
Remember what we said at the beginning? The whole point of art life isn't some crazy pressure to become a master overnight. It's way simpler than that. It's just about starting, about beginning to appreciate.
There's this really beautiful quote from our source that I love. Art pursues truth, goodness, and beauty. And when you think about it, that's what you're doing when you appreciate art, right? You're connecting with these big, universal ideas, something way bigger than the day-to-day grind.
So, I'll leave you with this thought. Maybe it starts with a song you haven't heard in years, or a sculpture in a park you always walk by, or a painting you see online. It doesn't have to be a big thing. The only question left is, where are you going to begin your art life?